Hello everybody, this is L5 and today we'll be bringing you a little bit of gameplay analysis. Got this series versus Always Random Towers. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's made a few appearances on my channel, but anyways, this guy, he's a king of the hill player, as they say. And yeah, this is coming off me being pretty much inactive in KOTH for like a week and a half, so I am kind of rusty. Like, this is actually my first game back on Hydro, and Hydro is not my best map, so you can kind of guess the outcome of this first map. But anyways, let's get right into the game. I'm going for a little bit more balloon economy versus Always Random Towers, going a little bit more farm heavy. And he did get the 3-1 ninja. That's a little bit more expensive, but I mean, whatever floats your boat. And he's gonna make me get up the ricochet with the regrow whites, and I can't fit my farm. It's very interesting, you see, because I'm bad. Now I sent some pinks because I figured he's probably greeting, and that can do a lot of damage, and it did do a lot of damage, but not really enough for it to be worth it actually, so I probably should have just invested money in farms instead. But at this point I do have a lot of eco, so I'm like, not being able to fit 4 farms isn't too bad. I can just go for a little bit of a teaser rush like I just did there, 2 rod and a ceramic, but unfortunately his 3-2 ninja goes god mode, and I sell a farm to send a bigger rod because he did get up the juice by selling his second ricochet earlier, if you caught that. So I did have to sell a farm there. I don't really have a choice here besides around 18 rush. If he sent a Moab, I was pretty much dead, and if he waited till 20, I lost anyways. So that was my only play, really. And it didn't work out, obviously, because he also knew that was my only play, so he just played it safe. Now moving on to Swamp, I decided to go for an eco strat because I believe the best way to get rid of rust is to play with eco strats, because it's a little bit more challenging on most maps and on not like medium range or medium length maps, that's the word I'm looking for. Going eco is a lot safer, as you can rely on your eco to give you consistent money, and you're basically forcing your opponent to rush you, pretty much. You're trying to get the lives advantage on these medium maps and then defend anything that they send. And let's see how good of a job I do in this game. And I'm just going to send a bunch of blacks and yellows to try to make Art leak, but it looks like he's doing a pretty good job at no lives losing. I do get the 3rd ninja just to make sure I don't leak, do any random rushes, and I get up my Bernie Stuff Mortar. You do need that for round 10, otherwise you will leak to regrow leads. Anyways, he does get the 3-2 bomb. That's very interesting. He does send a little bit of a rod, and that actually leaks a little bit just because I underreacted. I didn't think I needed to get any defense. I thought just microing my mortar would be enough. Excuse me. But unfortunately it was not. And I do reveal the attack here by getting the sprayers around 15. So he's not really going to be able to send any round 15 rushes that are going to do anything. Maybe camo ceramics, but that's really a toss-up, and it's not really worth it for him since he's up on lives. He can kind of play safe now. So at this point, I do kind of need the lives, but I'm also thinking he's probably not going to no lives lost AI. That's pretty hard. Alright, so I send a Moab as he gets the factory, followed by black, so he can't move his mortar. He has to sell all his 2-0 farms for a Sabo, and he has to get up all those ninjas, and generally he's down a lot in money, so if I were him, I'd probably rush me, honestly, and I'm preparing for that by saving up a lot of money, but it looks like he's just trying to rebuild his farms. That's not a very good idea because hopefully, well, I guess he'd be wishing to have his second factory by now, and he just barely got his Republic, so yeah. And he is going to leak to the round 25 naturals, and it's kind of funny. He dies to the next one. Hilarious, am I right? So he picks Temple. And again, I'm going with Eco, and I decided to go for Tac Eco because Ice, you pretty much lose to round 20. I haven't really figured out how to defend the regrow BFBs because they just regen farm in the ice and then your cannon gets overloaded and it's just not a good time. So I started using Tac on this map because I'm pretty sure I can defend late. I mean, I haven't really tried in a very long time because everyone just rushes around 18. But regardless, I'm going Tac in this game, and he's going farms. So I do sell for my Ring of Fire, and I do afford it, and no lives lost. Well, Art has leaked 1 life, so that's GG round 40. And I'm going to go for some blacks with some yellows here, just to try to make him leak a little bit more. just having a little bit of wiggle room so that I don't lose the lives advantage to round 12 space camo pinks or anything like that, because that would be kind of silly. I do send a bunch of leads because there's no reason not to. It gives you good eco, and I do get up my 2-3 mortar, and for round 13 I do need to save up enough money so I can get my 3-0 cannon and 1 eco boost, but it looks like he's not going to rod, so I don't really need to buy anything. I'm just going to get up my second Ring of Fire for the round 15 rushes. He does send 3 Rehero Ceramics. That's a lot of money wasted right there. That's 1350 monies. And his farms aren't exactly the greatest. He does have decent farms because, you know, he's not really a bad player. But because of the ceramics, they're not really as high as he could be. Now, round 18 is kind of awkward with Tack. I'm not really sure exactly what to do, but like generally I figure out a way. Usually it's Maelstorming, but you can get money drained if you have less than 1.2k eco. Otherwise you're just gaining money. And it looks like Art almost dies to the round 20 AI, which is kind of funny. He leaks a little bit more to round 21 AI. His ninja doesn't look like it was on strong, so I send a little bit of a teaser rush to just force him to spend money. And at this point, I'm just going max eco as I see the ZOMG, and I'm like, whoa. So I sell a Ring of Fire and my ninja for the Sabo, and I start getting up my Mauler defense. And I get up the Maulers more towards the attacks, just because it'll pop it later in the track and I can Maelstorm pretty easily. And at this time, I go for some pinks because I didn't see any more ZOMGs after the second one at that time. So I just thought, oh, maybe he's trying to money drain me and take me late, even though it's a bad idea. I just wanted to go a little bit more eco, just in case. And it doesn't really hurt my defending skills. I still, not my skills, the amount of money I have to defend, because I still have like $14,000 saved up right there. I'm not running out of money anytime soon, and it looks like I'm going to defend this rush pretty easily. I think that was a 5 ZOMG rush, so pretty large rush, but unfortunately not enough to take me down. And I'm going to basically win this. But he does get the bank, so I mean, who's the real winner here? It's still me. I'm just gonna wait for these mobs to go through, send the camo leads, you know, just to rub it in, and the last map that he's going to pick, Inkblot. And I'm not going to go eco here because that's kind of suicide versus a very solid farm player such as Art. So I am going for the regular farm strat. And since I'm on the right side, I can be a little bit safer round 4 through 6 because the 3-0 attack is much better on the right side, and you're generally not going to leak as much. As you can see, I've only leaked 12 lives and he started farming. I'm just going to go for more layering just to get my eco up. 393 eco lets me afford the Ring of Fire right at the start of round 6, and he does leak 1 life there, very intense. And I start farming with 402 eco, and I'm going to get the 2-0 farm. And with about 400 eco, you can get 3 2-0 farms, and you'll barely afford your Signal Flare Mortar. And so I'm going to get that third farm, and now I'm going to start getting my mortar. As you can see, I barely afford it, and he thought I wouldn't afford it, so he did send a camo rush, and that was kind of a big waste of money. At this point, he desperately has to keep up in farms. So knowing that, I'm just going to play very safe. I'm going to send 3 ceramics. Normally you send 2 because that would force the opponent to try to get up their defense, but I knew that since he's down on farms, he's going to have to try for the Cool Breeze luck. So I send 3 just to make sure that he dies, or at least leaks very low, and he does end up dying, and that'll be the Series 3-1 for Series Back, and I'll see you guys next time. Hope you like this little analysis on the gameplay. Might do that a little bit more often if people like it. Let me know in the comments. And yeah, see you guys in the next one.